3 seconds before you found this video, heaven's war room erupted in sound that shook the foundations of the unseen realm. Your name flashed across the cosmic notification system in frequencies only angels perceive. Every demonic force assigned to keep you scrolling past this exact message fell silent. They knew the curtain was about to be pulled back, and there was nothing they could do to stop it. Feel that shift in your chest right now, that subtle tightening, that inexplicable awareness that something is different about this moment. That is not anxiety. That is recognition. Your spirit has been waiting for this revelation, crying out for answers in a language your conscious mind could not translate. And finally, after so many nights of restless confusion, the response is here. The algorithm did not bring you here. Coincidence is not real in the kingdom of heaven. While billions of videos flicker across screens worldwide, invisible hands guided your finger to pause on this specific thumbnail. You were summoned, chosen, called into this digital space that is about to become a portal between the realm you can see and the realm that has been watching you. Listen to the sound of your own breathing in out. Each breath you have taken over the past weeks has been counted, measured, recorded, not by surveillance but by love, by a father who has watched you walk through rooms where the air felt heavy, where your shoulders tensed without reason, where your eyes darted toward doorways because some primal instinct in your soul sensed a presence you could not name. You thought you were going mad. You thought your sensitivity was a curse. But heaven whispers to you now, you are perceiving truth. If you feel that electric sensation crawling up your spine, hit that like button right now as a spiritual agreement. Because what I am about to reveal is not entertainment. This is a divine interruption, a holy ambush, a moment when the veil between what you thought you knew and what has always been true becomes thin as breath. Today, finally, God is exposing your neighbor. And the truth is heavier than clouds before a storm, darker than midnight without stars. And yet somehow it is the key that will unlock the prison you did not know you were living in. For so long you have walked past a door. The same door day after day, exchanging pleasantries, words floating in air like dust particles, seemingly meaningless. But your spirit, that part of you wired directly into the throne room of heaven, has been screaming warnings you tried to rationalize away. You remember that night when you woke at exactly 3:17 in the morning. Heart pounding, skin damp with perspiration that had no source. Everything appeared normal. Your furniture sat in familiar positions. Your walls remained solid. But something had shifted in the atmosphere. Something you could not see had moved through your space like smoke. And when you finally returned to sleep, your dreams were strange, vivid, filled with symbols you could not decode. Heaven was trying to tell you something. There were other signs, too. The week when 3 items went missing from your home. Small things, a key, a photograph, a piece of jewelry. Then days later they reappeared in locations that made no logical sense. You blamed your memory, but deep in the cavern of your knowing, something whispered that this was not forgetfulness. This was interference. Your neighbor has been carrying a secret, and that secret has been leaking into your life like poison gas under a doorway. Invisible but potent, affecting your peace without your conscious awareness. If you have ever felt sudden heaviness press against your chest when you were near a certain wall, if your mood shifted without explanation when you heard specific footsteps, if you avoided certain areas of your own space because the energy there felt thick and wrong, type finally in the comments. The Spirit of the living God speaks directly to you now, not through a messenger who only partially understands, but directly, as a father speaks to a beloved child whose safety is his obsession. And he says, I have watched every moment of your confusion. I have counted every tear. I have seen the nights when you questioned your own sanity because the world told you nothing was wrong. Yet your spirit screamed that everything was wrong. You were never crazy. You were discerning. Your neighbor, the one who smiled when you crossed paths, the one whose eyes carried a coldness that contradicted their warm words, the one who seemed overly interested in the details of your life, has not been who they appeared to be. Beneath the mask of neighborly affection, beneath the performance of community, there has been an agenda, hidden, deliberate, aimed at you. Some of you watching this, your breath just caught. Subscribe to this channel right now, because what is about to unfold over the coming weeks is a series of revelations that will connect dots you thought were random. This is heaven opening a broadcast frequency specifically calibrated to your deliverance. While you slept, this person positioned close to your dwelling was awake, engaging in practices, speaking words, making agreements with forces that do not wish you well. Your name has been in their mouth when darkness was their only companion. They believed that proximity gave them access, that your kindness was weakness, that their secret activities would remain forever concealed in shadow. But they forgot one critical truth. They forgot that you belong to the God who sees everything, who knows every whispered word spoken in locked rooms, who records every intention hidden in hearts that smile with teeth while plotting with souls. They forgot that angels surround those who are called by the Most High, and the appointed time has arrived. Archangel Michael, whose very name means who is like God, stands at the threshold of your home right now. His sword, forged in fires of holy purpose, blazing with light that would blind physical eyes, is drawn not to attack you, not to frighten you, but to cut through every spiritual cord that your neighbor has attempted to tie to your destiny, to sever every invisible thread they have tried to weave into your life, to dismantle every altar, every ritual, every spoken curse that they believed would slow your progress, confuse your relationships, block your blessings, or steal your peace. Can you sense him? Can you feel warrior angels positioning themselves around the borders of your space? You are not alone. You have never been alone. And the forces assigned to protect you are far more powerful than anything assigned to harm you. Type protected in the comments if you feel the shift happening as I speak these words. Because this is not theory. This is reality breaking through the illusion you have been living in. The Lord says, I am about to show you things that will shock you. Within days, not months or years, but days, you will witness your neighbor's mask beginning to slip. They will say something that reveals too much. They will react with nervousness when you mention certain topics. They will accidentally expose their own deception because when heaven decides to bring truth into light, there is no human effort clever enough to keep it hidden. You will hear your name mentioned in places you never expected. Stories about you that you never told will surface, and you will trace them back to the source that stood close enough to observe, to gather, to carry tales like precious cargo to other ears. Their interest was not innocent. It was surveillance. It was information gathering. It was preparation for interference. But every word they spoke against you has been recorded in heaven's court. Every attempt they made to paint you falsely has been documented by angels who never sleep, who write in books that cannot be erased. And now the very accusations they tried to spread about you are being turned back upon their own heads. The very traps they set for your feet are becoming snares for their own steps. This is not your revenge. This is divine justice. The Lord says, do not lift a finger to retaliate. Do not speak words of cursing. That is not your assignment. Your assignment is to watch, to pray, and to prepare for the freedom that is coming. That job opportunity that seemed certain but suddenly vanished. That relationship that was flourishing but abruptly turned cold. That financial blessing that was flowing but mysteriously dried up. That health issue that appeared without medical cause. These were not random occurrences. There was a hand in it. An invisible hand operating through someone positioned close enough to observe when things were going well for you. Close enough to act in the unseen realm before doors could fully swing wide. The delays you experienced were not divine timing. They were demonic interference channeled through a human vessel who agreed to be used. But though they delayed, they could not destroy. Though they blocked, they could not permanently close. Because the hand of God upon your life is heavier than any human opposition. The plans God has for you are written in ink that cannot be erased by enemy efforts. Your destiny is sealed in heaven, and no neighbor can rewrite what God has already written. Share this video with one person right now, not randomly, but to that one specific person whose face just appeared in your mind, because they are going through this same battle and they need to know their discernment was accurate. Over the past months, you have felt strange resistance every time you tried to move forward. Invisible hands pushing against your chest, making simple tasks feel impossibly heavy. You would wake with motivation, with plans, with excitement, and then within hours that energy would drain away like water through fingers. You prayed about it, you fasted about it, and still, the heaviness remained. Now heaven pulls back the curtain. Your neighbor has been operating like a spiritual vampire, feeding off your energy, your peace, your progress. Through methods rooted in darkness, they have been attempting to create a parasitic connection where your blessings leak toward them, where your favor becomes confused, where doors meant to open for you get redirected toward them instead. But the Lord says that pipeline is being destroyed right now. As you hear these words, as you agree in your spirit that what I am telling you is true, angels are taking bolt cutters made of holy fire and severing every unauthorized connection. They are breaking every invisible cord. They are dismantling every spiritual mechanism that your neighbor constructed to tap into what belongs to you. And the blessings that seem to stall are about to rush toward you like a dam that has been broken. The favor that seemed to bypass you is about to find you like a river returning to its proper channel. The opportunities that seemed to disappear are about to reappear with supernatural timing and clarity. Because when God restores, He does not just give back what was taken, He multiplies it. Comment your birth month below, because heaven is organizing divine appointments by seasons, and I need to know who is being awakened in this hour. Archangel Michael is setting boundaries around your home, around your life, around your destiny, drawing lines of fire that your neighbor cannot cross. Even if they try to approach physically, they will feel discomfort. Even if they try to reach out with false friendliness, their words will feel hollow. Even if they attempt to gather more information, their questions will be met with divine wisdom that tells you what to share and what to guard. You are entering a season of supernatural discernment. The gift that has always been in you, the sensitivity that made you feel different, is about to be activated at a level you have never experienced. You will know when someone's intentions are pure. You will sense when words do not match the spirit behind them. This gift is not for fear, it is for freedom. But I must warn you, as the exposure unfolds, as your neighbor's true nature becomes visible, you will face a temptation to respond in anger, to expose them publicly, to seek revenge through human means. Resist that temptation with everything in you. Vengeance belongs to God. Justice is His domain. Your role is not to become the punisher. Your role is to become the witness. Witness what God does when He fights for His children. Witness how heaven handles those who touch what is holy. If you try to fight in the flesh, you will descend to their level. But if you stand in prayer, if you remain in worship, you will see the glory of God manifest in ways that will become your testimony for decades to come. Place your hand over your heart. Feel it beating. That rhythm is a reminder that you are alive, that you have survived every attempt to diminish you, that you have outlasted every plot against you. Declare out loud, I am protected. I am chosen. I am loved. The battle belongs to the Lord. Your neighbor thought they could interfere with your destiny. They thought proximity gave them power, but they made a fatal miscalculation. They forgot that you are not an orphan wandering through life unprotected. You are a child of the Most High God. You are covered by blood that speaks better things. You are surrounded by angels who never sleep, never tire, never fail. And you are loved by a Father whose jealousy over you is fierce, whose protection is absolute, whose commitment to your flourishing is unshakable. The evidence of exposure will manifest in multiple ways. First, your neighbor will become increasingly uncomfortable in your presence. They will avoid eye contact. They will cut conversations short. This is because guilt has weight, and when heaven begins to expose hidden sin, that weight becomes unbearable. Second, you will start to overhear things. Fragments of conversations, pieces of information, details that connect to suspicions you had but dismissed. It will be as if heaven is arranging divine eavesdropping, placing you in positions to hear what you need to hear. Third, other people will begin to mention your neighbor to you in strange ways. Someone will say, I never trusted them. Someone else will say, I always felt something was off. And you will realize you are not alone in your discernment. Like this video right now if you are ready for complete exposure, because your willingness to see truth gives heaven permission to show you everything. The Lord says, I know this is shocking. I know part of you hoped your suspicions were wrong, but I love you too much to leave you in deception. I love you too much to allow you to continue smiling at false faces and trusting untrustworthy hearts. I love you too much to let you walk into rooms where spiritual weapons are aimed at you while you remain unaware. So I expose not to hurt you, but to protect you, not to create paranoia, but to give you wisdom, not to make you fearful, but to make you free. Freedom is knowing who is really for you and who only pretends to be. Freedom is understanding that the unease you felt was not mental illness but spiritual accuracy. Freedom is being released from the obligation to maintain relationships that were never genuine. Freedom is the ability to guard your energy, your words, your plans from those who would use them against you. Freedom is walking in divine discernment where you share your heart with those who have earned the right to hold it. Your neighbor's exposure is not the end. It is the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where you walk in greater wisdom, a chapter where your boundaries are healthy and strong, a chapter where you are no longer an easy target because you have learned to recognize darkness even when it wears the costume of light. The angels are celebrating right now. There is rejoicing in heaven over your awakening, over your willingness to see, over your courage to accept truth, even when it disrupts your comfortable understanding. Every time a child of God wakes up to the reality of spiritual warfare, heaven erupts in celebration because another warrior has picked up their sword. Another king and queen has remembered who they are. In the coming days, your neighbor will expose themselves further. They will slip up in conversation. They will get caught in lies. They will act in ways that reveal their true character to others, not just to you. And you will watch as everything you sensed, but could not prove, becomes undeniably visible. Do not gloat when this happens. Simply observe. Simply thank God for His protection. Simply recognize that you have witnessed divine justice in action. Because the goal is not to humiliate your neighbor. The goal is to free you from their influence and to set a boundary that protects your future. Type boundary in the comments if you understand that loving someone does not mean allowing them unlimited access to your life. Because love is wise. Love sets boundaries. Love protects what is sacred. And your life, your peace, your destiny are sacred. The Lord is preparing you for a season of extraordinary blessing. The doors that are about to open, the connections that are about to form, the opportunities that are about to present themselves, the favor that is about to rest on you. It is so far beyond what you have experienced that you would not believe me if I told you. And that is why your neighbor had to be exposed now. Because you cannot walk into your next season carrying relationships contaminated with jealousy and hidden opposition. You cannot step into the fullness of your destiny with people secretly working to limit you still attached to your life. The exposure is not punishment. The exposure is preparation. God is clearing the field. He is removing the weeds so that the good seed He is about to plant has room to grow without competition, without sabotage, without interference. Yes, it is uncomfortable to discover that someone you wave to every morning was wishing you harm every night. But the temporary pain of truth is infinitely better than the permanent damage of deception. The Spirit of God says, I am putting a new song in your mouth. The song of the delivered, the song of those who were bound but are now free. This song will attract your true tribe. This song will draw in the people who are supposed to walk with you in your next season. This song will become a testimony that helps others recognize their own situations and find their own courage to face truth. Share this video as an act of spiritual warfare. When you share it, you are not just forwarding content. You are extending grace. You are helping someone else wake up. You are participating in the great exposure that heaven is orchestrating across the earth in this hour. Because your neighbor is not the only one being exposed. In homes, in churches, in workplaces, in families all over the world, God is pulling back masks and revealing what has been hidden. This is a season of truth. This is the hour when authenticity becomes the only currency that matters. Before this video ends, I need you to receive something, an impartation, an activation of the gift of discernment that has always been in you, but has been dormant or suppressed. Right now, I speak over you. I call forth the gift of seeing beyond surfaces. I activate the ability to perceive spirits, to read atmospheres, to sense intentions. I break every agreement you made with doubt that told you your intuition was wrong. I shatter every lie that said you were too sensitive. I declare that from this day forward you will know, you will sense, you will perceive truth even when it is wrapped in smiles and sweetness. The angels are sealing this activation right now. Archangel Michael is touching your spiritual eyes, removing scales you did not know were there. You are about to see people and situations with a clarity that will sometimes be uncomfortable, but will always be protective. This is not a curse. This is a gift. This is divine equipment for the territory you are entering. Your neighbor's exposure is complete. The truth has been spoken. The veil has been torn. What was hidden is now revealed, and you are free. Free from confusion, free from the invisible weight, free from second-guessing your own discernment. Free to walk forward with confidence, knowing that the God who sees everything has shown you what you needed to see and has protected you from what would have destroyed you. As you step away from this video, notice something. The air feels different. The atmosphere has shifted. What was heavy is now lighter. What was cloudy is now clearing. This is not imagination. This is the tangible result of truth setting you free. You are not the same person who started watching. You have been changed, awakened, activated, and the enemy knows it. Heaven celebrates it. Go now in the authority that has always been yours. Go with eyes that see clearly and a heart that is protected. Go knowing that you are loved beyond measure and defended beyond comprehension. Go as one who has witnessed divine exposure and lived to tell about it. Your story is not over. In fact, it is just beginning, and the chapters ahead are going to be so glorious, so drenched in the goodness of God that you will look back on this moment and recognize it as the turning point, the divine interruption, the holy ambush that changed everything. Finally, the truth has been revealed. Finally, you are free. Finally, you can breathe. Welcome to your new reality. The exposure is complete. The activation is done. Your new season begins now.